often feel fidgety no matter what? Do you try to find something to keep your mind off things, but it doesn't seem to work? Instead, it might get worse. People who experience this feeling may have anxiety. Anxiety is a distress and is sometimes a form of a mental disorder. This disorder sometimes happens because of things that have happened in our past, such as, traumatic experiences, and we can sometimes trigger it without realizing it because it causes a kind of like a mental panic attack subconsciously, and we won't notice it until it's basically either too late or it already affected us in the exterior. So, according to NAMI, I believe it's called National Alliance of Mental Illness, in the U.S. alone, there's over 40 million adults, which is like 19.1%, if I'm correct, that have an anxiety disorder. And they also state that approximately 7% of children from ages 3 to 17 they experience a type of anxiety each year. In other words, anxiety doesn't only affect adults, it can also affect kids, no matter the age. Um, and to make it more in general, anxiety isn't just one type of thing. There's about 12 different types of anxiety disorders. And no matter what, luckily, these anxiety disorders have their prescriptions, medications, so that us, those that deal with anxiety, can get help, and not like bottle it up. Because if you do, like I always say, it's like when you make a cake. When you're baking it, you add the cake mix into it, the cake pan. Once you start baking it, if you didn't do it correctly, that cake pan will be basically too small for that cake mix because you added way too much cake mix, and the cake mix will start coming out. It's like the same thing when we bottle our anxiety, our emotions and stuff. We bottle it all in, but once we can't handle it, we tend to explode, and everything comes out. At least for me, that's how it works in terms of how I would view it. And according to Harvard Health Publishing, Harvard, uh, they mentioned exercise actually helps you with anxiety because considering since when you're exercising, you're actually keeping your mind off things. It's like, how to say, when you're driving, you should be focused that you're driving, but you're not doing anything else. So it's the same thing with people who deal with anxiety. They have to forget what they're doing and do something else, so they won't exactly fall into the category of being in the mixture of having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, because it all can just bottle into one thing. So what I'm trying to say is, as a quote from John Green, there's hope even when your brain doesn't tell you there isn't. So we sometimes have to go through it and not think about it that much. Same thing goes for everything. We kind of have to ignore it. So no matter the age you might be, you can still get anxiety. There's not just one anxiety disorder. There's about 12 at the moment that the researchers have discovered. And basically, whenever you feel anxious, just go for a walk to help you not be anxious. Also take medications, antidepressants and so forth. One thing I would say is we need to have control over our anxiety and not let the anxiety control us, even though sometimes, it might go and control us. So, yeah.